Our first activity today is the Hello Microbit activity. We're going to program the Microbit to tell us hello and goodbye. For this activity, you will need one Microbit and a Microbit cable. We'll do this in 5 steps. Step 1, creating our first project. Let's head to makecode.microbit.org/v4 to start programming. We suggest using Chrome because it provides some additional features that we'll use this week. Once you follow the link, make sure that you're using v4 by checking for the v4 in the page URL. You should see a page that looks like this. Click the purple square that says New Project. Give your project a name, something like Hello Microbit should do the trick, and click Create. Step 2. Getting familiar with the MakeCode editor. The Microbit can be programmed using a block-based programming language. You should be looking at a page with 2 blocks, the OnStart and the Forever blocks. We're going to use these and other blocks to tell the Microbit what to do. Any blocks you place within the OnStart block will run when the Microbit turns on or resets, while any blocks inside the Forever block will run over and over as long as the Microbit is on. We won't use OnStart or Forever in our first program, but they will come in handy in the future. On the far left of the screen, you should see a virtual Microbit. The virtual Microbit lets you see how your program will behave before you download it to your own physical Microbit. Each time you add, change, or remove a block, the virtual Microbit will restart and run the code that's in the editor. To the right of the virtual Microbit, there are several category tabs that hold all of the possible blocks we can use to program the Microbit. Click on the different categories and see some of the different blocks we have to use. The main portion of our screen is the MakeCode editor. This is where we will place blocks that we are using to program our Microbit. As we write programs, you'll notice that different blocks have different shapes. We can attach blocks together only if their shapes match, kind of like puzzle pieces. Step 3. Writing our first program. Now that we've gotten familiar with the MakeCode site, let's write our first program. We're going to use the button A and button B inputs and the LED outputs to display messages. The first thing we need to do is tell the Microbit which inputs it should look for. Click on the input category to bring up a list of the different input blocks we can use and drag 2 on button A pressed blocks into the editor. To make an on button B pressed block, click the A drop-down and change it to B so we have 2 blocks, 1 for each button. Now, whatever we want the computer to do when we push button A, we can put inside that block. And whatever we want to happen when we push button B, we can put in that block. Let's have Microbit tell us hello when we push button A and goodbye when we push button B. To do that, let's go to the Basic category and drag the Show String block into each of our button blocks. In programming, we call blocks of text strings. Now we can replace the text inside of our new blocks with whatever text we want. Change the text so that when we push button A, the Microbit will show Hello Jane, but using your own name. Change the text so that when we push button B, the Microbit will show Goodbye Jane, but with your own name. Congratulations, you just wrote your very first program for the Microbit. Let's use the virtual Microbit on the left to see if our program is working the way we expect it to. Click on the A and B buttons and see if the virtual Microbit displays the greeting and farewell correctly. It looks like our program is running the way we expect it to, so let's download our program onto our physical Microbit and see if it works. It's good practice to check your code before downloading it. This can save you some difficult debugging in the future. That's why solution code will be hidden in a drop-down spoiler right before the flashing step for this and all future activities. If you get stuck, you can always compare your code to the solution. Step 4, flashing the Microbit. Putting code onto the Microbit is called flashing, and it can work a little different depending on the type of computer and browser you are using. Regardless, the first thing you'll need to do is plug the small end of the USB cable you were given into the top of your Microbit, and plug the other end into your computer. If you are using a recent version of the Chrome browser, you can connect your Microbit to MakeCode and then just press the download button. Your program will automatically be downloaded onto the Microbit. To do this, click the 3 dots to the right of the download button and select Connect Device, and follow the on-screen instructions. If you are struggling to connect your microbit, follow the steps that MakeCode suggests. First, check your connection. There should be a yellow light that appears on the back of the microbit when it's connected to your computer. If you don't see a yellow light, try a different cable. If the connection seems good, you probably need to update the firmware on your microbit. To update the firmware, follow the directions at the link in this description, or on our website. Once your microbit is plugged in, click the download button on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. This will download the program onto your computer as a .hex file. Now, all you need to do is drag and drop the .hex file onto the microbit. Depending on whether you are using Windows, Mac, Chromebook, or another type of computer, this will look slightly different, but the idea is the same. Find the downloaded .hex file in your Downloads folder and find the microbit folder in your file system. Then, drag the .hex file onto the microbit just like you would if the microbit was a USB flash drive. Your microbit's yellow light on the back will flash repeatedly while the program is downloaded. Once the program has finished downloading, the yellow light will glow solid. Step 5. Test your code. Once the program is downloaded, let's try it out. Press the A and B buttons to see the text that you wrote scroll across the screen. Woohoo! We programmed the microbit to take an input, a button press, and give us output, text scrolling across the LEDs. Inside the microbit, a lot of things have to be processed in order to produce the text on the LED display. Needed to figure out what LEDs to use and when to turn them on and off, and how long to wait before turning them on or off. Feel free to click the Home button in the top left and try out some of the tutorials that MakeCode offers. You could also go back into your code and play with other inputs you might be able to assign to the A and B buttons. Did you notice you can make pictures with the LEDs?